Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum, Mukhanat, Dumelang, Sabona. I hope you're having a great week. It's important for me to quickly share something with you. I was thinking about what I was like 30 years ago and what's changed me over the last 30 years. And I think it's the issue of not trying to be too reckless, number one. Number two, making sure I calculate and understand cash flow all the time. Making sure that you never run out of understanding that you should have a nest egg all the time. So this is about saving. I remember when I was a kid, remember we used to have those little post office booklets. I can't remember now if it was blue or if it was green or if it was pink. But every Wednesday morning, the teacher used to say, does anyone have anything to bank? And we used to put 50 cents and 1 rand. And the rich kids used to come with a blue 2 rand note. I don't know if some of you remember. And then some really rich kids came with a pinkish colored 5 rand note. Some of you are not even going to remember what I'm talking about here, but it's all about saving and making sure that you have a little bit of a nest egg every single day in the back of your mind. What does that do for you? And it doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, if you're a billionaire, you need to have that nest egg. But what that nest egg gives you is sleep and peace of mind. And everybody I know needs to have that, including myself. So it allows you the opportunity to decide whether today I'm going to put 150% effort in my day. I'm really tired, lethargic, and I need to think, and you know what, I'll go in for half the day. But when you don't go to work for whatever medical reasons it is, or whatever personal reasons it is, family reasons, then you have that nest egg. When something goes wrong, you've got the nest egg. When some tragedy takes place, you can help out the family. But the nest egg is so important. So how do you go about doing that? And I know a lot of you are going to say, how do I build a nest egg when I'm trying to build a business? I'm trying to make money to buy a house, or I'm trying to save money to do other things. That is a different issue. You should take at least 1%, if not more, of your salary every single month. And I say 1% because I want it to be insignificant, where it doesn't hurt you. It's not a big amount. If you can't put 1 or 2 or 3% of your monthly salary away ongoingly for while you're working and while you're preparing to be an entrepreneur and while you're preparing to go on your journey of making lots and lots of billions, then you're doing something wrong. So while you're working, you need to take that time out to take that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5% and put it away where you even can't touch it. Because often what happens is you're walking around and you want something and then you know, oh, I got this nest egg, I'll use half. Don't do that. Save it for as long as you can. Keep it tight. You never know what can go wrong. You never understand the circumstances and the road that you will walk and the difficulties along that road that you're going to achieve, or not achieve, but overcome. The issue for me is to make sure that I help you to understand how important it is just to have a little bit of money so that you can go to bed at night thinking, if I have something wrong in my business, if I have something wrong in my personal life, if I have something wrong around in my children, with my kids or my wife or her family, that I can support them and I can come to the party. And I can also have that sleep. You know, that sleep, it's called the multi-billion-dollar sleep for me. If you have below a certain amount of cash, you just sleep 3 hours. If it's more, you sleep more hours. It's a funny thing. And everybody does it, and just they don't talk about it. But I promise you they do it. And I do that thing at night of calculating how much cash and near cash the family has or I have, so that I know and I understand that I've deserved the right to have that 6 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is. But coming back to saving, it's so important. Develop that ideology within your kids from a young age. Get them a little account. We used to have the Bob account. And some of you are just never going to believe it, the Bob card. Some of the older people like me are going to realize and recognize that. But get them to save a little bit. Get them to a bit of chores around the house so they understand the concept first. You then need to put that concept to reality of saving and making sure you save appropriately. We know our rand is devaluing all the time. And one of the biggest concerns a lot of people have, including their pensions and so on, is the fact that, is there value in my pension in 10 years' time when the rand may be 50 rand? The bottom line is, make sure that you find a way of saving a little bit, and it's not a lot. If you can't save 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, I'll be sad with you. But if you can, trust me, in a long period of time, maybe 5 or 10 years, you forgot about that little sum of money every month that you've got that discipline for, and you've got that debit order running, and every time you see it, you feel bad. But trust me, after 5 or 10 years, when you need to do something or you need that cash, it's a lot of money, and it's something that you've never thought about, and it hasn't hurt your cash flow too much. Obviously, if you're not having an income, you can't save. But that's a different discussion, and that's about entrepreneurship and creating jobs so that you yourself can write your own check. But even if you're able to do that, you need to still be able to, at the end of the month, take a bit of your cash out that you're making and finding all over the place and hustling around, and then utilize that money to save a bit. So on that note, cheers. Make sure you're saving some cash.